right, here is a graphic organizer, and we'll use this for 3 examples of just different ways to write intervals. So our interval here that we're going to look at is x is less than 3. This is a great way just to write an answer to an inequality, but there are just 3 different ways that we can write it. So let's just go into the first one, set builder. Set builder is just like the fancy smancy way of writing something. So you put those little brackets and you say x such that x is less than 3. That's it. So we're just repeating the interval and we're saying, hey, the answer is every single x such that or where x is less than 3. It's not really any different, it's just like a fancy way to write something. The next one is interval notation. Interval notation is the one that has either parentheses or brackets. And when I say brackets here, they're going to look a little different than these fancy ones. So let's take a look at this. Since we have just x is less than -3, any answer all the way down to -infinity could technically work. And we can go all the way up to, but we can't include 3. We can't include 3 because there's no or equal to here. So we put these open parentheses here to show that we can get as close to 3 as humanly possible, right? 2.99999 repeating, but we never hit 3. And then to graph, we'll draw a number line. So this word graphing is a little bit, I guess, incorrect. It's really just like a number line, but we'll graph the answers on the number line. So we really only care about the number 3. You can put a couple ticks, and if you want, you can put 2 more numbers to the left and the right if it helps you. And then obviously, this is going to go on forever. That's what the arrows show. And then we want to show that we're less than, but not including 3. So we're going to graph to the left of 3. So really, these two, the graphing or the number line and the interval notation, look pretty similar. And in an earlier video, I said, hey, as long as your x or your variable is on the left, then you can use this as an arrow. So this is pointing left. So on our number line, we're going left. But I think it normally just helps to think about it, right? Less than 3 is obviously to the left of 3. And we're going to have this open parenthesis here once more because we're not including 3. All right, our next example is x is greater than or equal to -5. I also just put in parentheses here number line since I like that more than graph. All right, so x is greater than or equal to -5. Set builder is probably the simplest one. Honestly, it just takes the least amount of thought. All x's such that x is greater than or equal to -5. That one's easy. Interval notation. We want to be greater than or equal to -5. So the smallest value we can equal is -5, and we can go greater all the way up to positive infinity. Now note here that all infinities, positive or negative, will always have the open parentheses, and that's because we can never quite touch infinity, right? It's more of an idea, not really an actual number. So you're always going to have the open parentheses around the infinities, no matter what. However, since we can equal -5, we put these hard brackets around -5 to show that -5 is in fact one of our potential solutions. It's in our solution set. And then down on our number line, we'll put -5. Again, if it helps you to write a few other values, feel free. We are going to graph to the right of -5, and we're also going to put that bracket around it again to show that same idea that we can equal -5. All right, this last interval is not going to infinity, although there are still an infinite amount of solutions in between -1 and 3. That's pretty cool. But we are not going towards either infinity here. So set builder is the same once more. All x's such that x is greater than or equal to -1 and less than 3. Our interval notation won't have infinities. Our interval is going from -1 to 3, and we're going to have the brackets around -1 because it's an or equal to, and we're going to have the open parentheses around the 3 because it's just a less than. On our number line, I'm still going to put the arrows, But now I definitely have to put two numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then it's going to look like the bracket around -1, the parentheses at 3, and then all the values in between. Perfect. All right, so these are just a few different ways to give solutions that are an interval. Just a few different ways.